Hello, I'm Hat, and welcome to another Anecdote Thursday. Today's anecdote, My Head versus Other Hard Things, could be alternatively titled A Tale of Two Concussions. As most of you have noticed by now, I've been hit on the head fairly repeatedly. The first concussion occurred when I was helping my dad build a TV tower in the backyard. A TV tower is something you put your antenna on in order to receive broadcast stations. Those of you who were born in the cable TV and DirecTV era will need to look these things up. So anyway, my dad was raising pieces of the tower by tying them to a pipe and then using a pulley to pull them up. I decided to offer a helping hand by being a rope wrangler. Now, I made up that job on the spot, but it seemed to entail keeping the rope from the pulley system from getting tangled up. So there I was, pretending to do work, when suddenly I saw rope coiling up around my feet. At that point, I heard my dad yell, "Look out!" I looked up just in time to see the pipe hurtling at my head. It would have killed me, but one edge of the pipe hit the ground first. The rest of it swung down towards me, smacking me right on top of the head. I can't describe the sound, but I can tell you that I saw purple, and not just any purple, but an electric purple, which I now believe is the actual color of the electrical activity in your brain. There was a loud ringing in my ears, and I went directly to my knees. I heard my dad scurrying down the tower, yelling, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Oh my God." I got up, he brought me into the house and helped me lie down, and then my mom called the emergency room and asked what she should do. They told her to keep me awake and to let them know if I started vomiting. So when I heard her say that, I, of course, started pretending that I was falling asleep. Later on, she found out about that and was not very happy with me. I got better pretty quickly, and the story was pretty much forgotten. Although my dad will say on occasion, "I wish I hadn't told you to look up. I could have blinded you." So that's concussion 1. Concussion 2 happened on Wednesday, November 2nd, 2016. To some of you, that date may not mean anything. To Cubs fans, however, that date is significant because that's the night they won the World Series from the Cleveland Indians 8-7. The most important and earth-shattering game in baseball history, according to any Cub fan. Now, I'll admit straight out that I was drinking heavily during the game. I get very nervous watching my sports teams as a rule, so a Game 7 of the World Series with my Cubs was absolutely nerve-wracking. I polished off better than a quarter of the bottle of scotch I had bought specifically for that night, then proceeded to either fall asleep or pass out in my lazy boy. You decide which. Now, I don't remember anything else until the next morning when I woke up with a bloody pillow and hair matted with blood. Turns out I had a half-inch laceration just left of center on the back of my skull. How did this happen? My wife said she heard a very loud thud come from the kitchen around 2 or 3 in the morning. She came in to find me lying on the floor on my left side, moaning. She asked me if I was okay, and I said, "Yeah, I guess so," and then proceeded to get on my hands and knees and start crawling towards the bedroom. She helped me get undressed and ready for bed. I crawled in and fell asleep for a few hours, waking up with blurry vision and a splitting headache. That, coupled with the fact I could not remember the last 2 innings of the ball game, told me that I had suffered a fairly serious concussion. I decided not to call the hospital or to go into the ER. I knew from my medical experience there was nothing they could do for me, so I decided to wait it out at home. I spent the next day and a half in a dark room, not watching any TV or YouTube or listening to any radio in order to allow my scrambled cerebrum a chance to get its shit back together again. I'm fine now, as far as you know anyway. There is one common thread that went through these two stories. My dad. You already know the role he played in the first one. But in the second one, I knew for a fact that he had recorded the Cubs game on his DVR. I knew it for a fact. So I was greatly looking forward to visiting him and watching the game again, this time without the aid of central nervous system depressants, only to find out that he had not recorded the game. I'm still devastated by that. I'm going to have to see if I can buy a secondhand Sports Illustrated World Series recap. It's my only hope of reliving those grand moments when the Cubs took it all. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I did. I really get a kick out of telling stories from my misspent youth and also recent events that bear repeating. Thank you for watching, and as always, thank you for your attention.